All right. So I hope you are comfortable. Eyes closed or open. Just kind of settle into your space and start to connect to your breath. Relax your jaw, maybe wiggle it out a little bit. Wiggle your shoulders, feel them falling down your back. And since we're talking about boundaries, we're going to create an energetic boundary right now. So I want you to imagine a white egg circling your whole body, going around your head, around your shoulders, down your back, under your legs, under your hips, under your feet. This white egg shape is surrounding you and protecting you. And this is your sacred space. This is where you can come and be safe and be you. This is where you can come to find your center. I like to imagine mine extending about a hand width's length. So like if I take my thumb and I put it on my shoulder, my egg goes out to my pinky. So it's about that big. So settle here in your space, in your safe egg. Boundaries are important for us. It's important for us to feel safe, important for us to feel protected. And more importantly, it's important for us to have energy for just ourselves. We give a lot of energy, especially women, to other people, to our loved ones, to our family, to our friends, to our children, to our pets, to strangers that we meet. And it's really important that we save some of that for us. And I want to congratulate you for showing up today and taking some precious time for yourself. And it's also important to recognize the energetic boundaries that we have within ourselves. So when you start to feel stressed or anxious or uncomfortable and you can't quite figure out why, come back to your egg. Imagine this special place. I was trying to combine special and precious. Special place here that is just for you. It's just yours. And you can come here at any time. And this is where you can check in with your boundaries and see how you are feeling. I like to check in with boundaries. I call them boundaries for myself. Am I feeling tired? Do I need rest? Am I feeling lonely? Do I need support? Do I need to just be and let things go? And the more I come back to this egg, this precious, special place that is just for me, the more I can notice what my boundaries are within myself. And I notice how they show up in my body. Could be a fluttering heart, could be a fluttering stomach. It could be shoulders that are all the way up to my ears. And that's how I know that some boundaries have been crossed. And I can take my power back and make a change to fix it, to come back to myself, come back to my center, and protect my boundaries and my peace. While you're here in your precious special place, I'm going to read you our mantra for this week. I am divinely protected and shielded from negative energies around me, and I release all fear and anxiety. I am divinely protected and shielded from negative energies around me, and I release all fear and anxiety. I am divinely protected and shielded from negative energies around me, and I release all fear and anxiety. I invite you to let that sink in. And as you're breathing, I invite you to breathe in peace and tranquility. And exhale that fear and anxiety. Inhale peace and tranquility. And exhale that fear and anxiety. I'm so grateful to you for connecting today. It is 7:16 if you need to be mindful of the time. I invite you to play with this energetic egg that we created as you move through the rest of your evening. And check in with yourself this week. Check in with your inner landscape. And I am going to stick around to just check in and see how you're feeling. Marielle, we do have some Instagram followers too. So they might want to share as well. You're welcome to add some comments if you feel called. You're also welcome to just sit and let it soak in.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. That was great. And it was very spot on, what I've been focusing on this week or the past few days. So it definitely resonated and it was needed. And also I want to ask you about, you said the boundaries within you. Could you elaborate on that? So you're saying that if you feel something within you, then you cross your own boundaries, or are you saying somebody else crossed it?
Yeah, that it could be both. So as you kind of navigate the world, and I observe my thoughts. I observe my feelings and I don't judge them. So if I observe that I am having some negative thoughts, if I'm being really hard on myself, it could be because I am not being fully true to who I am and honoring my own needs.
Mm.
Um, and so that can be anything from not nourishing my body in the way that I know that I need to. I
Mm-hmm.
know that sugar for me is really yummy and I love it, but it does tend to increase my anxiety.
Mm.
So that's kind of a boundary within myself where I have to check in and say, Tiffany, did you really need to order that cake? And did you really need to eat it all, or did you really just want one bite? So that's just one simple example of just having a boundary with yourself.
Okay.
Or also, in friendships, it can also manifest as maybe not speaking your truth. If
Mm.
asks you to do something and you agree to do it, and you kind of have that feeling like, oh, now I have to follow through because I said that I would.
Mhm.
That's something to learn for next time. Like, hey, let me check in. And before I say yes, let me see if it's a holy hell yes. Um, or if it's something that I can't fully follow through on, or maybe I can negotiate. So just it takes some time to learn what those inner boundaries are.
Yeah.
Um, and then of course there are the external boundaries, the family that's always, asking you to do things and you know
Or
you know
validate.
that they can do it themselves, but they
Yeah.
know they can say yes. And
Yeah.
so that's where you kind of work the inner boundaries with the outer boundaries and you begin speaking them.
Yeah. Okay. That's something that I need to work on. Um, and then another question was, and I'm very empathic, and I think a lot of the times what I'm starting to notice the more I work on myself, the less other people's energy is starting to affect me. But it's slowly happening. So I see it's like an inward job instead of, you know, thinking it's people outside of me. It's like it's because not creating boundaries for myself. Maybe I don't feel like I can, or I don't want to hurt anybody, or I feel like I don't have the power or the control to do so. From whatever I learned that from wherever. But I'm starting to become more in tune with myself and how I feel. I just got a journal like last week and start just really writing how I feel and allow myself to feel these things because they need to get expressed.
Mhm.
And I think in that way, I don't know, that's boundaries or that's I feel like it's honoring myself in a sense. Like some part one a part of me is wanting to be expressed. So I try to honor that. Is that kind of considered boundaries in a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am, you're on the right track. You're doing
Okay.
really great work. Yeah, yeah, you're
Thank
honoring your needs. You're taking time to yourself to express what's going on the inside. There's some people that want to do that, but really struggle to find the time to sit
Mhm.
down and do that. So that's really huge. And you're being honest with you about how
Mhm.
you feel and you're expressing it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also realized more of by writing it. Um, I'm not sure if you experience this, but in life, you go through life and you feel like you need something, but you don't even realize what you really need. And
Mm,
it's like you try to yearn for something to feel it, and it ends up not working because it's like you're not really being attentive to what that need is. So also by journaling, I've been writing it down and having epiphanies like this is actually what I really need. I thought I want something else, but what I need is this. So one thing I realized I really valued in life, and this is how I thrive, is I need emotional nurturing or emotional fulfillment. And somebody can give me money, somebody can like give me some type of support and stuff. But if it's not that, it doesn't fuel me in a way that makes me thrive. I did not realize that. So
mm.
people would do this and that for me, and I still wouldn't really have that much momentum because a deep inner child within me is still yearning for this, emotional acknowledgement or fulfillment or nurturing from like a feminine energy because I didn't get that. I did not realize that.
That's a huge learning.
Yeah.
That is a huge learning. And I congratulate you
Thank
for saying that. And thank you for trusting me to share that with me too. Um, yeah, it's really interesting when you start to look at what you're craving versus what you need.
Mhm.
And I can emphasize with you with really wanting that emotional connection.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And I have another question. Well, I have one more thing to say on that because what I would do is like when I would meet people, um it would be difficult for me probably still now to have a certain level of intimacy. And
Mm,
um I just didn't understand it because it's there, they're saying things, but I'm not feeling like I'm still getting what I need.
Mhm.
And that was the emotional part. And I realized I was subconsciously attracting the same type of people who weren't emotionally available because I wasn't doing that for myself.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. And you cued in on the key. We can't, as spiritual beings, fully be intimate emotionally with someone until we are fully intimate with ourselves
Mhm.
and until we can fully give ourselves the emotional support, validation, love that we need. And even as we do move through intimate relationships, we still have to give ourselves all the things that we need because
Yeah.
people should just be a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have any suggestions or tips about how you can love or pour into yourself more or love yourself more? Or like what
Yes.
would be or fulfill your emotional needs? How would you do it? Like any advice or
Yes. My friend recently told me that I should write a book about this. So I won't give you a lecture, but let me sense in and just think about everything that you have shared and let me see if I can pull something together concisely.
Okay.
So I'm sensing you mentioned you're healing your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned kind of feeling like you're looking for some nurturing, like from a mothering perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice would be to reparent yourself and act as your mother and journal about not your mother that you were with, but we have an inner child, we have an inner mother, and we have an inner father.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can be all of those things for yourself. And so when I feel like I need some inner mothering, I will sit with my journal and I'll meditate. I'll do breath work just like we did at the beginning of the session.
Mm-hmm.
And I will dialogue with my child. And
Mm-hmm.
I will write with one hand. So my dominant hand is my left hand, and my non-dominant hand is my right. So I'll assign a role to each hand. And so the non-dominant hand is your child. That one's going to be a little more free flowy. It's going to be messy. You don't have to show this to anyone. This is just for you. And then the dominant hand will be my mother,
Okay.
my inner mother. And I'll dialogue. I'll say, what do you need? How can I support you? And now the one rule before you go into this is that when you're working with your inner child, you have to always be honest with her.
Okay.
Even if it's a really uncomfortable truth, it's something you don't want to tell her. What you don't want to do is overpromise and underdeliver,
Mm.
because we're looking to heal and nourish that inner child. And it's better to say, honey, I love you. However, I cannot offer that. And then continue that dialogue until
Mm.
you both can work through something that will work. And that'll be healing. And you'll see things pop up. I like to ask my inner child what she wants from the grocery store. And it's usually like PB&J and strawberries and little those little baby carrots with ranch.
Mhm.
So yeah, I hope that helps. Did that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. That was great. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I am, if you're interested, I'm hosting a free 30-minute info session about my self-love course. So I have
Oh,
a 90-day self-love course. It would just be one-on-one. It would be just like this. It's 12 weeks long.
okay.
And if you're interested, I won't keep you. This is not the time for that. But since you're kind of, I feel like you're kind of asking questions and on that path. And if it's in alignment, I can email you more information if you just want to drop your email in the chat.
Yes, I was about to do it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, then we'll be in touch and yeah, like I said, this isn't about that right now. This is about you and I hope you got what you came for today.
I did. Thank you so much. And what was the Instagram? Your Instagram name?
I'll type it in the chat.
Okay.
It's my business name. My business name is Tiger Lily.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you. I do too. I do too. I am so girly and so feminine. So if you like that, then I hope you like the content. And I do a lot of self-love stuff over there. So
Okay, let me try to hold on one second. Okay, got it.
yay.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a blessed evening. This was just great and well needed.
Oh, I'm so glad you came. It was really nice to meet you. And I'll see you on Instagram. And hopefully at the info session is the 27th. It's a Wednesday evening.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Have a good one.